Oh my God. Sit down for this one because the palace is practically shaking, and not because of some grand royal ceremony. No, it's shaking because Meghan Markle has apparently cooked up the boldest, wildest, most mind-blowing plan the royal world has ever witnessed. And trust me, people inside those palace walls are losing it laughing. So, here's the tea that has everyone choking on their Earl Grey. Word is flying in from Montecito that Meghan Markle, yes, Meghan, is preparing to sue Prince William if he dares strip her of her Sussex title when he becomes king. I mean, can you even? She actually thinks she can drag the future King of England into court over a title that wasn't even hers in the first place, a title that was gifted to Harry, not her. And when this rumor started bubbling, palace staff and British legal experts practically fell out of their chairs. They're calling it delusional, unhinged, and the most misinformed royal move in living memory. Lawyers who've spent decades studying the monarchy are laughing, literally laughing, at the idea of Meghan thinking she has legal rights over a royal title. But wait, it gets even more dramatic. Apparently, Meghan really believes she has a strong legal case. She's been telling people that because she used the Duchess of Sussex styling in Hollywood deals, charity projects, appearances, brands, basically everywhere she could slap it. She has some sort of ownership over it now, like it's a trademark, like it's merchandise, like it's hers. And the timing? It says everything, because this all comes right after King Charles showed the world he can vaporize a royal title with the flick of a pen, just like he did with Prince Andrew. No court, no trial, no fight, just letters patent and boom, decades of royal styling, gone like it never existed. That moment clearly sent Meghan spiraling. Insiders say she's been scrambling, frantically calling lawyers, hunting for literally anyone willing to tell her she can win a fight against the monarchy. But every serious expert keeps telling her the same thing. Royal titles belong to the crown. They can be removed whenever the monarch feels like it. But Meghan doesn't want to hear that. She's convinced her situation is different. She thinks all the years she used the Sussex name, even though she publicly said she didn't care about titles, somehow gives her a right to keep it forever, like she earned it, like she built it, like she owns it. The irony? It's honestly comedic at this point. The woman who told Oprah titles meant nothing is now allegedly gearing up for legal warfare to protect the title she claims she doesn't need. And if you think that's the peak, oh no, we're barely getting started. Behind the scenes, William's team is actually amused. They're not panicking, they're not stressed, they're literally saying, bring it on. They want her to try, because the moment she files something, the monarchy gets the perfect opportunity to show the world, publicly, legally, undeniably, that Meghan doesn't understand a thing about the system she married into. And here's the brutal truth Meghan keeps ignoring. She was never given the title Duchess of Sussex. Harry was given the dukedom as a gift from Queen Elizabeth. Meghan got the Duchess styling only because she married him. She has zero independent claim over it. Nothing. Nada. Even worse, she's been using the title wrong this entire time. The proper way is Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Only blood royals can put the title before their name, but she's been walking around calling herself Duchess Meghan like she's a Disney princess. And now she wants to sue for a title she's been misusing from day one. The deeper you dive into this, the more jaw-dropping it gets, because Meghan reportedly believes she earned her title through her years of royal service. But royal titles aren't reward points. They're not loyalty perks. They're not a job benefit. They exist only and only at the pleasure of the monarch. And right now, that pleasure is running on fumes. But oh, honey, the mess is only beginning, because when you look at what Meghan is allegedly planning next, the whole thing goes from dramatic to downright chaotic. British constitutional experts, the people who've spent their entire lives studying the monarchy, are roasting Meghan's plan like it's comedy night at the Apollo. Some senior barristers literally called her idea legally illiterate, and others said they have never seen anyone connected to the royal family misunderstand the monarchy this deeply, not even Prince Andrew. And that man's resume of disasters is long enough to wrap around Windsor Castle twice. And here's the brutal truth people keep repeating. You can't sue the crown not in the UK, not in the US, not anywhere on this planet. Why? Because the monarch, the sovereign, literally is the legal system. British courts function in the name of the crown. So trying to sue the monarch in their own courts is like trying to sue gravity for making things fall. You can't do it no matter how many lawyers you hire, but insiders say Meghan is still pushing forward, convinced there's some way, any way, to argue she has rights over the title. And that's where the lawyers really start laughing, because the first legal brick wall hits her instantly. Royal titles aren't property. They're not trademarks. They're not assets. You can't buy them. You can't own them. You can't sue over them. They're literally gifts. In the eyes of British law, they are grace and favor honors that can be removed removed without warning. And the funniest part? People say Meghan keeps pointing to how she used Duchess of Sussex in business deals, like using it gives her ownership, but one constitutional lawyer clapped back perfectly. Using a title doesn't make it yours. Renting a house doesn't make you the owner. Meanwhile, Hollywood insiders are giggling too because they know how branding works. If something isn't contractually yours, it's not yours, period. And this title belongs to the crown. But Meghan apparently refuses to accept this. Reports say she's even exploring a wild delusional alternative, suing in American courts. Oh yes, she thinks an American judge might somehow override centuries of British constitutional power. And the moment that rumor leaked, American legal scholars practically choked on their coffee. Because US courts have zero authority over British royal prerogative, zero. If an American judge even pretended to rule on a royal title, they'd become a laughingstock in international law circles. And oh my god, it gets even more dramatic because this is where the citizenship bombshell enters the chat. US legal experts are quietly whispering something Meghan apparently never considered. An American citizen fighting publicly for a foreign noble title could trigger questions about divided loyalty. The US has rules, old dusty rules maybe, but still rules, about Americans defending foreign honors. And Meghan threatening to sue a future British king to keep her British Duchess styling? That crosses into a very uncomfortable gray zone. Immigration lawyers say that Meghan might accidentally create a situation where US officials wonder, is she prioritizing British noble status over her American citizenship? And the wildest thing, she probably has no idea she's inching toward that trap. Meanwhile, Buckingham Palace and the Foreign Office are reportedly watching like hawks, because if an American citizen tries to sue the British crown, even symbolically, it becomes a diplomatic headache. The US would hate to get dragged into something so messy, and the UK can't let anyone set a global precedent of foreigners suing monarchs. This is why constitutional experts say Meghan's plan isn't just legally impossible, it's dangerous for her. Because here's the plot twist. By trying to keep her royal styling through force, she's actually making the perfect case for William to strip her of it the moment he becomes king. Imagine the optics. A non-working royal living in California threatening to sue the monarchy? That's basically a neon sign saying, please take my titles immediately. And William's team? Oh, they're loving this. According to palace insiders, the future king's camp is calm, confident, even cheerful about the whole thing. When they heard Meghan was planning a lawsuit, the reaction wasn't fear, it wasn't stress. It was pure, smug amusement. William reportedly said something along the lines of, let her try. Because he knows exactly what Meghan apparently doesn't. No court anywhere can challenge the sovereign's power to grant or revoke titles. And if Meghan files anything, she loses, instantly, spectacularly, globally. And that humiliating defeat would do something the palace couldn't do on its own. It would show the world that Meghan's entire understanding of the monarchy has been wrong from day one. But the family's reaction is even juicier. Even those royals who once advocated for empathy and patience are allegedly done. Meghan threatening to sue the crown is considered crossing a constitutional red line. And now, they're united like never before. Even the soft-spoken royals, the peacemakers, the let's not escalate this people, insiders say they're now saying, that's enough. The Sussex experiment is unraveling, and Meghan might be the one pulling the final thread, and now we get to the part Meghan truly never saw coming. The moment where her entire legal fantasy slams straight into a centuries-old constitutional brick wall. Because while Meghan is allegedly pacing around Montecito, hyping herself up about suing a future king, the monarchy already has the ultimate shield in place, sovereign immunity and babe. This isn't some tiny loophole she can wiggle through. It's an unbreakable ancient principle carved into the foundation of British law. Experts say it as bluntly as possible. The monarch cannot be sued, not now, not ever, not by anyone. British courts literally exist in the name of the crown, so trying to sue the crown is like trying to sue the judge, the courtroom, and the Constitution at the same time. It's impossible on every level, and Meghan's team, if she finds one bold or desperate enough, would be laughed out of the building before the paperwork even prints. But insiders say Meghan isn't stopping. She's apparently exploring if she can take the fight to an international court, as if some global judge can override British sovereign power when that rumor reached legal circles. Oh, the laughter didn't just echo, it boomed. International courts cannot interfere with domestic royal prerogatives. Titles are strictly internal constitutional matters. No outside authority can touch them. Zero. Not even to pretend. Meanwhile, palace lawyers are practically ready with popcorn. Because if Meghan pushes this publicly, British courts will dismantle her claims so thoroughly it'll become a global lesson in royal power 1011. Insiders said the palace would welcome the chance to educate her legally. In front of the entire world. Imagine that humiliation. And that's exactly why Hollywood insiders are panicking behind the scenes, because if Meghan goes through with this and publicly loses, and she will lose, the fallout would be devastating beyond anything she's ever experienced. Production executives, brand partners, PR teams, they're already whispering that this move would make her look reckless, detached from reality, impossible to manage. Studios don't like liabilities. Investors hate unpredictability. And Meghan filing an impossible lawsuit against a monarch? That screams chaos magnet. Industry chatter is already shifting. She's no longer seen as the bold ex-royal with a story, but as someone who misunderstands the very foundation of the system she criticizes, and when that misunderstanding becomes headline news in every major outlet, the humiliation will be crushing. But the deepest, darkest twist comes from the citizenship angle. Legal scholars say if Meghan aggressively defends a foreign noble title, to the point of threatening litigation, it could be interpreted as prioritizing allegiance to the British monarchy over the United States. That's a nightmare scenario she never considered. In the worst case, it puts her American citizenship under scrutiny. And if that goes wrong, she risks losing the only legal protection she has left. The palace knows all this. Hollywood knows. Legal experts know, and the only person who seems blind to the consequences is Meghan. And now, all of this chaos is leading to one inevitable moment, a royal reckoning she cannot outrun, cannot negotiate, and absolutely cannot sue her way out of.